We don't take no L. Save me, sanctify me, set me free. Help me, save me, sanctify me, set me free.
Creator, I come to you with a humble spirit. I'm dying inside. I want to live. God, where you at? The devil trying to kill me. I wrote a whole suicide letter. Nigga really tried to kill me. Fuck it, fuck this avatar. This ain't the real me. So traumatized, you can't even heal me. I've been numb to the bullshit. Do you feel me? Jezebel in my bed, thoughts in her head filthy. She just hit the blunt, passed the phone and said, "Feel me." I'm praying that the plan B do what it's supposed to. I repent later, right now she bent over. But when I know it's over, she made me say, oh, like a no-limit soldier. She a pretty little demon, call it Doja. I want smoke with my ops, fuck closure. God, why you introduce me to baking soda? I can still hear the plug say we met the quota. Fuck that diploma, I just want white on white Rover. High off the clout, no I'm not sober. Angels and demons, I talk to both of them. Fuck people, I'm not like most of them. Light being, I shine like Moses since. I pray in a Rolls Royce limo tent. Chosen one, heaven is limited. God, where you at? The devil trying to kill me. I wrote a whole suicide letter. Nigga really tried to kill me. Fuck it, fuck this avatar. This ain't the real me. So traumatized, you can't even heal me. I've been numb to the bullshit. Do you feel me? She said that pussy not free. I told her bill me. She pillow talking to the media. She tried to build me. Illuminati did me a favor when they killed me. Born sinner, former drug dealer. I was nearly state property locked down. That's why I'm nearly. I was once lost, now I'm found. Can you hear me? Last time I talked to God, he said the devil feared me. The sermon hit different when you see the world clearly. It's feeling different outside. Yeah, the vibe eerie. If truth was a virus, can't nobody cure me. Testimony, testimony. Fuck your rituals, fuck your ceremony. Testimony, testimony. He died for your sins, what the Reverend told me. Testimony, testimony. No church in the wild and it's getting lonely. Testimony, testimony. I ain't scared to die, know a bounty on me. Angels and demons, I talk to both of them. Fuck people, I'm not like most of them. Light being, I shine like Moses since. I pray in a Rolls Royce limo tent. Chosen one, heaven is limited. Chosen one, heaven is limited. God, where you at? The devil trying to kill me. I wrote a whole suicide letter. Nigga really tried to kill me. Fuck it, fuck this avatar. This ain't the real me. So traumatized, you can't even heal me. I've been numb to the bullshit. Do you feel me?
Yeah, man. What's up, man? What's going on, man? All right, y'all. Definitely go check out the other channel that I have called Paradigm. Definitely go check it out. I keep forgetting to put it in the comment section or description every video because I'm an idiot. But I'll go ahead and drop it in the live. And we're just gonna do some reactions to this testimony. I've been I don't know, like I binge watch a lot of videos. Like I said, I don't really care about celebrities. Celebrities are corny to me. All of that stuff, like sport, like all of that stuff that I used to be into, it's just really corny to me, like sports, and I don't care about none of that shit. So I just tend to, like, if I'm gonna watch stuff, I watch like real life shit. So I binge watch people that talk about their mushroom trips or DMT trips. And recently I've been binge watching people that talk about their testimonies about, what happens when they died or near death experiences type stuff. That's the kind of stuff that's, you know, it it entertains me a little bit. So we're gonna listen to one today. But I got a lot of videos I gotta upload to the Paradigm channel, so bear with me because we have so much fucking content. Shout out Rich T and Kelly for coming on the show last night. Um, I think a lot of people liked that episode we did. So let's get into the testimony. Okay, definitely go support this channel right here. I don't know how to pronounce their name, but you see it right there on the screen. I might not listen to the entire thing because it's almost 40 minutes, but we'll listen to a good chunk of it. And like I said, I like a good story, man. That's just that's one of my things. I like a good story, so let's listen to this and let's react to it. Okay, I'm gonna start doing more reaction videos, during the daytime. All right, let's get into this.
Shalom, shalom to
And I guess the volume might be kind of low, but bear with me.
those out there in the world. I'm just here to give my testimony today on how I died and went to hell. And by the grace and mercy of the Most High Himself, I was able to come back and I'm able to give you this testimony. And I'm going to try to keep it short. It might be two parts to it, or I might just try to get it all done in one testimony. So this started at the age of 16. So approximately 20 years ago. The story starts in Sacramento. So we were headed to a trip to Sacramento to my sister's baby daddy's house at that time, around that time. And I ended up doing a drug. And I really didn't tamper with drugs at the time, but that was just something that happened. So I ended up taking this drug and we're headed there. And the whole time we are headed there, my heart is pounding outrageous. There's a lot of things that are not going right on this trip as we're headed to the trip. I'm starting to have car trouble when we're headed there on the side of the freeway and so forth and so on. So we get to Sacramento. It's me, my sister, a couple of friends with us, and the girl that I was with at the time. So we finally get into Sacramento, and I'm starting to feel my heart beat outrageous to where I cannot catch my breath. And we finally make it to my sister's baby daddy's house, and we get to the porch, and I literally can feel my heart getting ready to bust. And so I started to lose my breath. So I continued to tell my sister, I told her, I don't feel good. And that's the feeling that I had. I don't feel good. Something is wrong. And so I'll probably say 2 minutes later, I felt the feeling from my brain down to everything shutting down. And I died at that moment. And this is where the testimony truly starts. When I died, I was in a dark place, very cold and dark place. And in this place, there was an entity, and I didn't know who this entity was at the time. And all I could remember at that time was shaking. I was just shaking, trembling. There's no thoughts. You can't speak in this place that I was at. There's no thinking in this place that I was at. And there was definitely no power, humanly power, in this place. And this entity looked at me and he smiled. And I just remember shaking because I was in unbelief at what I was looking at. and I couldn't speak. I couldn't think any of the sort. And this entity put his arm around me. And at the time that he put his arm around me, it was just this feeling that came over me to where I knew who he was at that moment. And he had the whitest teeth, the most beautiful smile. And he put his hand on this door. Boom. And this entity was so powerful that when I gazed into his eyes were all different kind of colors combined into one. He had the most beautiful eyes that I've ever seen on planet Earth. And his eyes were so hypnotizing that this entity took my soul from my body, and I was with him spiritually. That's how much power this entity had in this realm, to where I didn't have any kind of worldly power, thoughts, nothing, just shaking, trembling in fear came over me. And when he had took my soul, he had took me to a place. And in this place, I remember it was all fire. And I never forget it to this day. There were millions of people on a ceiling, millions. They had no faces. They had no skin tones. I can't describe to you any of their features. I just remember that there were millions of them hanging from this ceiling, and the ceiling within itself was on fire. And that ceiling stretched for miles upon miles, as in there was.
It's interesting because the video we were listening to yesterday, when the guy was explaining it, he could actually tell people's like racial backgrounds and things like that. He could tell black people from white people, from Indian people, from Asian people. But this guy is saying that he could decipher ethnicity in this place he was in.
Was no ending to the ceiling. And I could just remember I'm still shaking while viewing all of this, trembling in fear. And at the same time of that, my spirit is on fire also. And I can remember that all of these people were on the ceiling, upside down, and all of their hands were waving in the air. And they were all making an unbearable sound of, and I can't forget the sound to this day. The sound was, and there's no speaking. There weren't people talking. It was just agonizing pain of hearing those sounds. And he took me through that level. And then another level came. And then another level came. And then another level came. And I can remember seeing 4 levels of people on the ceiling upside down, millions and millions of billions, if not, in agonizing pain. Just, and everything was on fire. And I know after the 4 levels of what I had seen, boom, I come back. And I can remember after, and my sister was there with me after, and our friends and girl and so forth, of everybody that was there that witnessed it. And I can remember that I could not speak after for at least 12 hours. I remember staring at the ceiling for at least 12 hours, and I couldn't speak.
So I don't think in the beginning of the video he mentioned that he took drugs, but I don't think he said exactly. I don't think he said what drug he took. Weed, coke, MDMA, a psychedelic. We don't know what he took. I don't think he clarified what he took. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Because whatever the fuck he took, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Whatever he took, no thank you.
It's no words, no emotions, no feelings. in me at the time. And boom, um, I'm thinking the whole time when I get home, like, my mom's going to kill me. And I was so scared to tell anybody of what I had experienced or witnessed because, growing up knowing, being who I am, um, I knew that if you told people these things, you told the government these things, they would lock me up and they would throw away the key. I'd be in a crazy home somewhere, in a psychic ward somewhere, locked up because of the things that I had seen and experienced. And then the demons in Hasatan is what I call them, but you would call them the devil. Then they would really have to go at me. So months after that, I muscled up the courage to tell my mom what I had experienced because I was in awe. I didn't understand what had happened, but I felt like everybody had lied to me. I wasn't a big church person. We didn't grow up in the church, but we always talked to the Most High. We believe in the Most High. And I just felt like in my own spirit that anything that the pastors had said or anything that any church person had told me was a lie. That's what I knew in my spirit. And the Most High, after that, had gave me into the hands of the devil, Ha-Satan, for a season. And when I had told my mother that, she just looked at me with no type of emotion or the response I was looking for anyway. And she just told me, son, you ain't living right. And that answer also I didn't understand at that time because I'm 16 years old. I'm going to hell, 16? What have I done to go to hell? I was thinking up on all these things. I was in so much fear and trembling, even when I came back to my own body. And that's when the possession started. That's when the devil was with me for at least 5 years. And this entity, and I still had not fully known who the entity that I was dealing with, but the entity was also powerful that I kind of felt it in my spirit of whom I was dealing with. And this entity was smarter than any human. This entity had more power than any human or anybody that I had known at the time. And he would come converse with me. And he would put his hand on my shoulder. And he would tell me all of these terrible, terrible, evil things about people. And not to the point to where he got me to kill someone or I was debating on murdering myself or anything like that of the sort. Just terrible, terrible things. He would bother me. And everywhere I went, he was there. If I went to the store, he was there. If I took a walk down the street, he was there. If I went to the park, he was there. I didn't understand why he was bothering me. I didn't understand the spiritual battle that I was fighting. And not just him, but he would send minions, demons, to come bother me at night. I'd be asleep and I would wake up and I would have 3 demons surrounding me in a circle. And the things that I could remember about these demons were certain of them had animal heads and human bodies. I remember one had goat horns and sort of looked like a troll configuration. They just come in multiple different configurations. And they would come bother me, and they would talk to me, and they would just say the most evilest, wickedest things ever. And I was scared. I had no power to fight them. Anytime they would show up, I would just tremble in fear. My heart would get to pounding outrageous. I would just start shaking. And anytime Ha-Satan would come, I definitely didn't have any power to do anything. And I remember that though I was walking around on earth, half of my spirit was in a dark cave. And I don't know where this cave was at. All I know is that I can only see out of one side of my body. That's how I truly knew that he was in me. And of course, I was committing wicked acts and living wickedly at the age, of course. And I just can remember I could not see out of the right side of my body, only out the left side of my body. Or it could have been the left side and the right side I could see out of. But I can only see out of one side of my body. And the other eye, I can only see blackness and darkness. And he would just steadily come and he would torture me and he would torture me by day and by night. And I can hear his voice as clear as you can hear any other human's voice. He used to get me to do all kinds of wicked things, say and do all kinds of wicked things. And I can remember clearly, as when he was with me when I came back, that he told me we were friends. And that's a scary thing because I felt like I could not escape this entity. I couldn't get away from this entity. This entity would take control of my body and my movements and my thoughts. And I just remember that at one point I was surrounded by a legion of demons. And people will say, pray. I used to hear people, you just need to pray. And you pray and, you know, you need to go to church. And they used to say all kinds of things. And from what I was shown about hell and the things that I've seen with this entity, like I said, he's more powerful than any human. You think that you can just recite some Bible words and he's going to go away. You think that you can just sit there and pray and that this entity is going to go away. That wasn't the way it was. And I'm here to let people know today that that's just not the way it works with this entity. This entity has deceived the whole world. That is the scripture. That is the word when he came down. And it's sad to say that most people in the world, that they think that they can sit and just rebuke him, or they can say this prayer, or they can go to church and he's going to disappear. That goes away. You've been blessed. You've been saved. You've been healed, and so forth. No, that's not the case at all with this entity. This entity is more powerful than any human being walking this planet Earth, than you and I and anybody. This entity knows the Bible better than any human walking this earth. This entity knows more about the creation and about how the order of things operate than any human being on earth. So just reciting some words or you feeling like church would help or save you from him, that's not the case at all. Once he has you in his grasp, you be lucky to slip away. It be by the grace and mercy of the Most High. Honestly, I don't know how I got out of the situation, but when I did get out, I knew it was the Most High himself that had given me into the hands of the devil, and I didn't understand it. I didn't understand demonic possession. I didn't know why demons were conversing with me. I didn't know why I can continue to see demons. I just didn't know why. There was no explanation for it. And the more that I would be possessed, the more wickedly I would act and the more wicked things that I would do, of course. And
It's very interesting to hear him say that the Most High or the Creator kind of like hand delivered him to, um, you know, the devil or Satan, whatever, what have you. It's very interesting to hear that. You know, I would love to hear. Is that even possible? Is that possible? Because we're taught the exact opposite. Just like he was talking about how, you call out for a lot of people that when they're in these situations, right, they're having these situations where, what is it called, man? When you fall asleep and then the demon is sitting on your chest and all that shit. They just have all of these situations and they call out, they say Jesus Christ, they say they repent. Um, um, and then it seems as if, if they truly mean it, um, they're almost like rescued. I'm not saying that happens to everybody, but this guy is basically saying that this guy is basically saying like God, it was the reverse. Like God handed him over to the devil. You know what I mean? And that is some crazy ass shit right there. Um that is some crazy ass shit. So we'll see if but also he says that he was, he was rescued. So but I never heard it from this perspective before.
I remember a short time after that, and I'm young, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, up into these ages, and I would pray. Didn't work. I tried to go to church one time. I felt more, and this is just my own spiritual discernment about it, because I wasn't a big church person. I believed in the Most High. Like I said, I believe in him. I believe in the Mashiach. Even then, but the churches I would go into, for some reason, I would feel more demons in the church than I would as if I was walking around in the regular world. And the same demons that surrounded me, they would be in the church. So I cut church all out together. And I went one time, I tried it. It didn't work for me personally. And because the Most High had already shown me when I had got taken to hell and I was given into the hands of the devil, that going to church is not going to save you. It's not. Just because you go to church doesn't mean you're going to be accepted into heaven. Going to church, it wasn't the path to salvation the Most High showed me at a young age. And that terrified me. It scared me. And so, like I said, this entity, he would just splurt all kinds of things out day and night, day and night, day and night. And the more he would torture and torment me, of course, the more I would.
And once again, he's referring to the possession. See, a lot of people are fucking possessed. A lot of people. I've seen it firsthand. A girl that I loved. I still love to this. I'm not in love with her, but I love her. I'm gonna love her for the rest of my life. Almost every single night, I'd be in the living room playing my video game because I'm a night owl. She would be sleep in the bed in the bedroom. And almost every night, at least 3 to 4 times a week, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you know what I mean? Like after 12 o'clock, she'd be laying in the bed, and then just all of a sudden, she would just start screaming at the top of her lungs in the bedroom. She would jump out of the bed, and then she would run into the living room to me, like full speed. And then she'd be looking at me, and I'll be like, "Are you okay?" And to the point where it's like it kind of got humorous, but it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny about it because I can't imagine the things that she was seeing in the spirit world. I can't imagine the type of possession she was dealing with. When you see that happen to somebody you actually love and you're in an intimate relationship with, like you really like, okay, hold on, we got to figure this out. It's not something you just brush off. You know what I'm saying? When you have a relationship with somebody and you're literally watching them be possessed in real time, that shit is scary. That shit is scary, especially if you or they don't know what's really going on, and at the time I knew it was possession. But I wasn't at the level. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't at the level where I was at now. I didn't know anything about deliverance prayers or anything, spirit spouses. I didn't know any of this shit, you know. I just told her, you know, you got to stop watching the bullshit you be watching. You got to, because she liked to watch a lot of scary movies, a lot of demonic, um, a lot of demonic programming. You know, she was in, ingesting spiritual. I was like, you got to stop watching that shit because clearly, like, you know what I'm saying, your spirit, something's going on. So, you know, to this day, I don't know if she still goes through that, but that shit was that shit was crazy as hell, man. That shit was crazy as hell. You know?
Do drugs. You know, I was lost. You know, there was nobody feeding me any type of, you know, positive motivation, you know, no mentors, nobody telling us what's right and wrong. And, you know, I'm born and raised in California, by the way, just to let you know, born and raised. So, you know, the lifestyle we live and the culture of California, of course, we already know is all out wicked within itself. So, but I mean, at that time, growing up, we didn't, you know, I didn't know it. We didn't know it. And what really touched me is, you know, being told that, you know, you just ain't living right without any type of explanation behind it. So my belief in heaven and hell at that time, I knew that there was a hell. I've seen it. I felt it in my spirit. And I've been taken to caves and tortured to where I was in a dark cave, in a cave. Don't know where the cave was. Can't explain to you any of the sort. But at a dark cave, very rocky inside, with bars as prison bars, and just cold. And I can remember having a chain around my neck and a chain around both of my feet that were connected to something. I couldn't tell what it was connected to. And these demons would walk past the cage when I was in this realm because I was possessed and I didn't have control over my own body, thoughts, or mind. And they literally had me in a place where it's a different realm, where it's not a worldly realm. It's a realm like hell. You have no power. You can't talk. You can't think. There is nothing of the sort that you can do. It is only fear and trembling when you're in these realms. And there's something that comes over your spirit to where you just know that it's over. You just know that there's no power in you. You have no power here.
That's literally what the other guy said. Like he felt like, you know, it was over. And he went on to say he felt like he wasn't gonna have another chance, like any other chance of getting up out this place, you know. What's good, Kelly? People have experience only see souls in misery. You mentioned cave as it's associated with the etymology of hell. You know, this guy is
And they would torture me. They would walk back and hit on the bars. They would say, oh, just making fun of me. How you would make fun of how people bully people, how people down other people, make fun of other people, just to say evil and wicked things to people to make themselves feel bitter. That's what they would do to me. And there was no escape for me. Nobody could help me. And I knew it. And I knew it within my own ruach, my own spirit, that nobody could save me from them. Nobody can help me from them. But I used to pray to the Most High. And even then, I still didn't receive the answers that I wanted to receive. And I would just do drugs. And one thing about what I've learned in the spiritual realm is they say that drugs are a gateway to other drugs. And I tell people, yeah, that's a true statement within itself.
so
But
something that he said. I want to just replay it real quick.
your spirit to where you just know that it's over. You just know that there's no power in you. You have no power here. And they would torture me. They would walk back and hit on the the bars. They would say, oh, just making fun of me. How you would make fun of how people bully people, how people down other people, make fun of other people, just to say evil and wicked things to people to make themselves feel bitter. That's what they would do to me. And there was no escape for me. Nobody could help me. And I knew it. And I knew it within my own ruach, my own spirit, that nobody could save me from them. Nobody can help me from them. But I used to pray to the Most High. And even then, I still didn't receive the answers that I wanted to receive.
So he says, this is the thing that stands out. He said, I used to pray to the Most High, but he didn't receive the answers that he wanted to receive. So it's just always that it feels like, God, where you at? Creator, where you at? Jesus, where you at? You know, you sit up here and you pray, and it's like, and it is am I being ignored, or is the message being sent to me and I just don't have the eyes to see it, or I'm not, you know what I mean? My ears aren't listening. What is going on here? It's nothing worse than being in a situation where you genuinely, you don't want to cause chaos. You don't want to participate in demonic activity. So you humbly submit your spirit to the Creator, Jesus Christ, what have you, and you say, please, I need help, guidance, direction, advice. I need answers. And it's quiet. And it's quiet. And it's just so quiet. And it's just like, it's the most frustrating shit I've ever personally experienced in this entire experience in this realm. When it's just like, when you're just you're just like, give me something, and it's just quiet, and it's like, wow. You know, it makes you feel left for dead, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
And I would just do drugs. And one thing about what I've learned in the spiritual realm is they say that drugs are a gateway to other drugs. And I tell people, yeah, that's a true statement within itself. But what the principalities, powers, rulers of darkness won't tell you is, and the government themselves, is that drugs are a gateway for demonic possession, from alcohol to marijuana down to any other class A felony drug that you can name, cocaine, so forth, of any drug.
Real shit, bro. There's been times like since I you know, did my little, I climbed up my little spiritual ladder a little bit. You know, even when I'm talking to a girl and it's like constantly talking about, every night or every other night she talking about going out to get drinks. I'm like, for some reason it's just repulsive to my spirit. I'm like, I've been there, I did that. I'm 32 years old. I've been there, I did that. I used to drink every day, every other day. I used to drink while I'm at work. I used to drink while I'm at, you know what I'm saying, wherever, strip club, bar, wherever. I used to drink all the time, every day, every other day. We used to be, you know what I'm saying, we used to be lit. But it's just like, you get to a point where you outgrow that shit on a spiritual level. So even when I'm talking to chicks nowadays and they constantly, I'm going to get it, I'm like, bro, what are you fighting? You having a crazy battle. There's a crazy battle going on inside you, to where you constantly gotta poison yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that poison is killing you, but it's feeding your demons. Let's have a real conversation, bro. You know? It is what it is. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Last night, I was sipping on a White Claw. I was sipping on a cranberry White Claw last night. I was feeling good, but I don't want to drink again today. You know what I'm saying? I have no reason to drink again today. So I don't, yeah, all of that. As a content creator, I want to get on the show so bad. I might have fumbled that interview. I think she might have felt disrespected by me kind of ghosting her. But she always would talk about doors, and that's all it is. You got these doors, these are weak points. You know what I'm saying? You think about hackers, the first they looking for weak points. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with these spirits, man. They looking for doors that, that you willingly leave open. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you don't know what the hell is in this, man. You don't know what the hell is in this food. You know what kind of spirits is in this food. What kind of spirits is in this water. Um, you know, kind of spirits is in these drugs and alcohol. You don't know what the hell is up in here, man. You know,
out there in the world, even prescription pills, you name it. Long as it's a drug that alters the minds, feelings, and emotions. These are gateways for demonic possession. And of course, they're not going to tell you that. They would say, oh, well, drugs are a gateway to doing other more powerful drugs. I tell people, nah, it plays a small part. So, and I used to be high all the time in my younger years, just living wickedly, like I said. And I wasn't myself. And I didn't tell anyone these things. That's the thing. I was so scared that I would not give my testimony unto the world or even unto my sister or brothers or so forth of any of my friends, family, nothing. I kept it to myself for a long time. I kept it to myself so long. Here it is 20 years later that I'm giving my testimony about what I experienced about it and about what I've been through with Ha-Satan, as you would call him, the devil. And, you know, being shown hell, just this entity alone of taking my spirit out of my body with his eyes, most beautiful eyes, I reiterate it to you. That told me, that showed me within those moments who he was.
I'll say this.
That he's so powerful in this realm that he can take my spirit out of my body and its
Now I will question that. Like, so they tell us your spirit, your soul. Some people say there's a difference between the spirit and the soul. I don't fucking know. But it's like, I don't, for some, you know, I didn't experience him. This situation, I'm not knocking him. I'm not calling him a liar, nothing like that. I'll be honest. I don't believe that Satan or the devil has the ability to do that. I don't think Satan has the ability to take our spirit out of our body. I might be completely wrong. I think I might be completely wrong. I think only the creator has that ability. I think, and like I said, I think that if Satan was to obtain our spirit or our soul, it only can happen if we volunteer it to that entity. I think that's the only way. You have to, it has to be, you know what I'm saying? You have to offer it. It can't be taken by Satan. I think only the source would have the ability, would have the clearance, the spiritual clearance to snatch your fucking soul out your body. But I could be wrong, you know, but that's my perspective. I don't think that Satan has that much power. Obviously, Satan or the devil, whatever this entity is, obviously is is more knowledgeable than any human being. We know that. But you gotta ask yourself, man. This is the thing right here that I always just come back to, man. If you have to, you know, if Satan, right, the devil, whatever, if this entity has to build their army of followers built on a mountain of lies, then that just shows how weak they are. If the only way you can get people to follow you is through deception and inversion and lies, you know what I mean? To get people to pledge their loyalty to you, you're weak. Because at the end of the day, the truth always wins. It is what it is, regardless if you're ready to accept it or not. The truth is always gonna come out on top. It's as simple as that, man. It's as simple as that, man. You know? Said, I can only have this ability if we are completely cut off from God. To forget or lose source connection. Yeah, I think that's something you would have to, you know, pledge allegiance to or something. I don't know. But once again, I never had any experience like that, so I'm not knocking his at all.
With him. My Ruach HaKodesh was with him. And he had my Ruach with him. And the things that I was allowed to see, I just knew that the way that we were living and everything that I was taught was a lie. And people mistake this entity for as an entity that you can just bypass, or an entity that has no wisdom and knowledge. Like I said, I am not giving him any glory or power. This is just a testimony of what the Most High brought me through and allowed me to overcome, because the Most High Yahuwah himself is very, very real. The Most High is very real. He exists. He's the one and true living King of Kings and Masters of Masters. Navi Yashrael, of course. And I feared the devil more than I had feared the Most High at the time, because the Most High had given me into his hands. So it was all just torture and torment, possession, torture, torment, possession. Like, I literally had a problem with everybody in the world at the time. I wasn't out there killing people and just doing reckless things like that of the nature, but yet and still, I was wicked. Trust me. I'm not going to get into the brief details of California life, born and raised and being wicked, and the life in the streets, but just know that I was wicked as all outdoors. And yeah, the devil, he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And one thing that I do know about him is that don't take him lightly. Don't think that you have one up on this entity. Just don't, because you don't. And people always like to throw in there, oh, the devil's a lie. The devil's a lie today. We know that he's a lie, right? But people always want to throw him in situations to bring his name up as if the devil, it's always the devil. I'm here to tell you today too, it's not always the devil. Sometimes he doesn't waste his time on the small fish. I tell people that. He just doesn't. That's not how he operates. He just doesn't come to everybody. He just doesn't shoo himself to everybody. That's not the way he operates. He doesn't have time for those he already has at all. Only those who he wants so bad, and the Most High allows him to do what he does with those individuals. And I mean, you know, my testimony is long, and you know, even sometime after that, I think it was about 3 years after I died, he almost took my life again. And you know, and my sister was there with me. You know, my sister is a testimony to this. I have many people that could witness to my behavior and the things that happen. And I was possessed. And I remember one time I was living in Fresno and I was 18 years old. Still possessed, still going through it. Devil's still on me. And, you know, me and my girl had our spot at the time, and I was very young. You know, we were 18. And she had got into a profession, and, you know, I was nearly by myself the whole time. And that's when they come. And I remember sitting there one night in my house by myself. I'm drinking, smoking, and I'm living wickedly. I just didn't know what to do at the time. I was lost as all outdoors with no direction on which way to start, which way to go.
I think like one of my major gripes with this just entire experience is just, you know, this fucking spirit wiper whatever you want to call it, just to complete like this memory wipe where it's like a lot of us we would be so different if we knew where we came from. There's a lot of shit we would have completely, we wouldn't even have had, we wouldn't even have even had the fucking, I don't even know the word for it. We wouldn't even have bothered to do half the shit we've done in this realm if we came in this bitch knowing, having our memories of past lives or whatever rounds we was in before, or what it was like, what it was like coming from the source or being around the source, bro. It's like we come into this realm and we don't, it's, I mean, come on, man. I mean, come on. So it feels like the game is rigged because a lot of these people, they do all of this stuff, all of this low vibrational shit. And it just seemed like people really don't go to God, or really don't, they really don't they really don't try to form a relationship with the creator or reconnect with their soul until, it's like basically a life or death situation, that's when, and it's just like, the game is rigged, man. I wish that I came into this realm having the memory of where did I come from before this, because it would have just sped up the whole process of, you know what I'm saying, of my discernment and spiritual evolution and all of this shit. Just simply knowing, having the memories of where did I come from before this realm. So I think that's my biggest just like something that pisses me the fuck off about this realm so much in this existence. Like it's not fair. It's not fair that we come in here, they wipe our memory, whatever. And then we gotta find ourselves again. And then who knows, wherever we go after this, who knows if we're gonna have to do it again and again and again. Oh shit, come on, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, so I feel like it's just the same cycle. It's just the same cycle, man. That shit pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie to you. That shit pisses me off. I want to be able to tap into all of my whatever the fuck I am. I want to be able to tap into all of those memories, all of that, a collection of experiences and things of that nature, man. Because we know this place is this realm is a simulation, man. This is not the end all be all. Period.
And
Like the records, you know what I'm saying? Like my entire soul's existence records. That's where I want to exist. I want access to that. Cause this right here, what I've been through in this avatar, this is not who I am. This is not the full story. This might not even be a chapter. This might be one page. And like I said, it's not fair that we can't know who we really are.
Wind was blowing heavy that night. I can remember, very heavy on the window, boom, back and forth. At this time I had lived in Fresno, right across the street from the football stadium. Bulldog, and it's known as an Asian bloodhood and so forth. And
She said.
So I'm drinking, like I said, and
she says some people would still be shit. I'm dead, even if they had the info. I mean, yeah. But then they would be just a next level piece of shit. Then, if you have access to like your soul records, and you still ain't shit, I can't even imagine that. To find God in us again. I agree. All right. So if you want to find it, you have the will to. You want to find yourself again, or you want to stay lost. It's up to you.
The sweetest voice just whispers in my ear. It says, Open the door. And I sat there for a couple seconds. I get up, I walk over to my door, I open the door, and I sit there and I stare at the wind blowing and just hard back and forth, the trees. I close my door, boom. And my ruach must have had came back to me, and it had told me, it said, something told you to open the door. You have just allowed another entity. And from that point on, I can just tell you that things got even crazier for me. Even crazier for me. I started to act more wickedly. I started to act out in violence, disobedience even more. Because I was afraid, because these entities made me afraid. And I had no power, none. And people, like I said, will tell you to do these things, do that, do this, do this. This is what you need to do. But how can you tell someone when they're in it, this is what you need to do? When these entities are allowing to take over your mind, your body, and take your ruach from the earth into a realm that you know not, that you can't escape. It is cold, it is dark, there is no talking. So my testimony of seeing people in hell, people didn't have faces. People didn't have skin. They didn't have eyes, noses, ears. There was no talking. Agonizing, screaming in pain. Uh, uh, uh.
And then the dude in the other video was saying that the people that were, grunting and moaning and in pain, he said it sounded like they had their tongues cut out their mouth. So there's that. But when it comes to fear, I always felt like fear. I mean, fear is probably deeper than a man-made construct. Fear could be associated with an entity, because you look at some people, they're fearless. You look at little kids. I watch these videos of these children, like I see like little kids be snowboarding and doing all of these extreme sports and shit, and I'm like, damn, how are you not scared of you being such a little kid? How are you not scared of falling and busting your ass and hurting yourself? You know what I'm saying? So even today, certain things that I look at people do and I'm like, wow, like for me, I think I would have a full blown heart attack. If I like these people that skydive or they jump out the damn airplane and they you got too much trust in man-made products. Okay, I am not jumping out of airplane and trusting a man-made product to you know what I mean, to safely guide me back down. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. I would have a heart attack in the sky, bro. You know what I mean? So when it comes to fear, like I hate that word so much. False evidence appearing real. Fuck everything and run. Um, I hate that word. So I hate everything about that word because it does feel like it's ruled by an entity, that emotion or whatever. That's not even emotion. It's like it's a genetically modified emotion. It's not real. It never is, it's not. That's one of the biggest fucking, I hate it. I hate that shit. Like I have a personal um resentment against that word, that frequency and or entity. I hate it. I hate it. And then people try to like say, fear is about survival. No, it's fear. Fear is not real. And if it is real, it's a real piece of shit entity. That's it. There's other words we can use, you know what I'm saying? That's way more accurate, like caution, whatever synonyms of that, you know what I mean? But fear is not, it has nothing to do with any productivity of you know of a human of mankind at all. You know what I'm saying? At all. There's never been a situation where you were fearful and it helped you. It's never been a situation. You can't name one. You know what I'm saying? You know, people, I feel like people mistake like fear for courage. Like courage is when you're fearful or you have, you know, when there's like caution present, you need to take caution, but you still figure out a way to overcome a situation, you know? So yeah, I feel like fear. It's a man-made. It's an entity that has basically that's how it feeds off. It feeds off man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give none of my energy. I don't want to give none of my energy to fear, man. None of it.
And I've seen other people's testimonies of going to hell and so forth. And I'm not here to take.
Yeah, if we ain't no fucking wings over here. I ain't even got pigeon wings over here. You feel me? For real. I don't want nothing to do with fear. Because every time I'm fearful, every time that entity comes upon me and I'm fearful of something, what I'm saying is I don't get shit done. When I'm fearful of something, I don't accomplish my goal. I fail my goal every time. It could be something as simple as approaching somebody that my spirit might be attracted to somebody when I'm out in public. And here come this entity, you know what I'm saying, all up in my spirit now, presenting me with this genetically modified emotion of fear. And then now, instead of me approaching this person, because I mean, what the fuck? I'm one of the most, like, I have all of this charisma, I have all of this personality about me, I have all of this relatability about me. I can talk to anybody walking this fucking planet. But then now, all of a sudden, this whatever this is, this energy inside of me now, it makes me feel like I'm not even worthy to approach this person in front of me or whatever like that. Nigga, I'm an immortal light being. You know what I mean? I'm an immortal light being. This is like, what the fuck? What are we talking about? Fear? Fear. You're an immortal light being. Fear is the biggest illusion ever. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? It's crazy. Fear. She said fear makes you act stupid. That's facts. What's up, Rich? He said fear is our perception of what is going on. It's crazy. Good. I appreciate you guys coming on last night. That was a lot. People. I think people appreciated that show last night. Yeah, it keeps you frozen. It just, you can't get nothing done when you're scared. Anxiety, all of that shit. You don't get nothing done. You sit in it. I talk to people all day. They sit in it respectfully. They're powerless. That's what people don't understand. Fear has nothing to do with survival. Once that entity comes upon you, you become a slave to it, and you sit in it and you feed that entity. Fuck it, let's call it possession. Some people are possessed by fear, possessed by anxiety, possessed by overthinking, so on and so forth. And you don't realize all you doing is starving. You're starving your own soul from, climbing up that ladder. You know what the fuck I'm saying.
Anything away from anybody's spiritual experience of what they've been through, but from the knowledge and wisdom that I was given about this place, there's no talking. You don't have no power. And all that braveness and courage and I'm a human and all that talking, that doesn't exist in that realm. The only thing that exists is fear, trembling, and shaking. And you have no control over your fear, trembling, and shaking. You have no power, none whatsoever. And I've never seen heaven. The Most High has never allowed me to see heaven. I've never seen an angel, and not taking anything away from anybody's testimonies, like I said, but me personally, I haven't got shewed that goodness. But I was allowed and given into the hands of the devil, Ha-Satan.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say earlier. Like, how they say it is, the Creator give you breath, not Satan or the devil. The Creator gives you breath. Shout out Cleopatra. That's what she told me. Satan, the devil, he's not responsible for that. So yeah, she said it makes sense you couldn't talk because the breath of life is gone. Because you're detached. You're detached from, you know what I'm saying? You're detached from the source that gave you that. So it's like, fuck you want to talk about? No, now you want to talk. Oh, now you want to talk. What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about them drugs you was smoking. Let's talk about them drugs. Let's talk about that. All them spirits you was ingesting. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about let's talk about you being on demon time while you was on earth. Let's talk about that. What you want to talk about? Ain't nothing to talk about. There's literally nothing to talk about. When you get to that point, there's nothing. What is there to talk about? The Satan not trying to hear none of that bullshit. The Satan not trying to hear none of that bullshit. It is what it is. You served you served out his purpose. You're expendable. It's as simple as that. It reminded me of that show. Such a great show, man. It was that show. It had Whoopi Goldberg in it, the TV show. I can't remember the name of the damn show, man. I can't remember the name of the fucking show, man. It was based on that book. I'll remember it in a little bit.
For a time and a season. And he was with me ever since I died and came back. And he would not depart from me at all whatsoever, day or night, day or night, day or night, day or night. And at that time, I didn't have any light in my life. Truthful. And, me and my sister were always separated, but we were always close in our younger years, even up until that point. And the devil used to tell me that he didn't like her, that I had to separate myself from my sister, and I didn't understand that. He kept me isolated from all people and all things of the world. And brothers and sisters, I tell you, do not take this entity lightly in any area or aspect of your life, because hell is very real. And I know heaven exists because what I seen and what I experienced.
I really liked this show, man. This was an actual good show. This was a pretty good show right here. I don't know where the hell it's on. I don't know if it's on Netflix or where it is. Okay, it's on YouTube, Roku, Amazon Prime, Paramount. All right. But yeah, it's called The Stand. And I guess it was. Let me just shut the fuck up and read this. Came out 2020. It said The Stand is author Stephen King's post-apocalyptic vision of a world decimated by plague and embroiled in an elemental struggle between good and evil. The fate of mankind rests on the frail shoulders, shoulders of 108-year-old mother Abigail. That's Whoopi. I want to say it's Whoopi Goldberg's character, and a handful of survivors, including, well, you don't give a fuck about them. Says and then in the show it says their worst nightmares are embodied in a man with a lethal smile. How this guy was talking about, he had the prettiest teeth, right? And unspeakable powers. Randall Flagg, the Dark Man, right? So he was basically Lucifer in this show. And the people had to make a choice what side they wanted to be on. And it was funny because on the Rosemary's Baby side of the game, it even showed, like, look at this. This was a good show, man. I think it was only like 5 episodes, but this was such a good show. And then they always talk about, I remember they always talk about how these light poles, or that whatever, these electric posts, it's a symbol for the like the cross or whatever. But this was the dude right here. This is Lucifer right here, and he ended up getting one of the girls pregnant on the show. And that was obviously going to be, the Antichrist. But this was a good ass show, man. This was a good show. Is that him? That motherfucker, bro. Can you imagine waking up in the middle of the night and that motherfucker's hovering over you and shit? Is that Stephen King? I don't think I've ever seen a picture of Stephen King. That motherfucker looked crazy. Stephen King is a scary looking motherfucker, bro. Hell no. So anyway. Hell no. Ugh. All right. Let's see if we can finish this up. We got 4 more minutes.
And what I was shown, and whom I was given to, I know that the Most High exists. I know that heaven exists. And he is real. The Most High is real. All the glory belongeth unto the Most High forever and ever. His mercy endureth forever. His grace abounds towards all of his creation. And I'm grateful to be able to give you my testimony today. And the testimony is longer. It is. And like I said, I'll probably do a part 2 to this, just to finish out the testimony, because it doesn't stop there. But I just wanted to give you the first part of my testimony about what I was shown about hell and what I seen in hell, and about me coming back, and about how I was given into the hands of the devil and the demons to be tortured and tormented for a season and for a time and a time until that time came to an end. I even got to the point to where I wanted to commit suicide to end it. I did. I literally did. That is my confession on TV. It was so much on my ruach, I couldn't bear it. I was already thinking, if I got to deal with this entity and deal with it, why not? I'd just rather die. That's the way I felt at that time. I'd rather die, and so he can have me forever. That wasn't my thinking at the time. It was just I wanted to end all the pain, the torture, and the torment. The Most High wouldn't allow me to do that, of course. And I wasn't a suicidal person by far. But this is...
He does it like the Grinch. Like, I don't know if the nigga had a plastic surgery or what the fuck is going on. He looks crazy as hell.
Things that Hasatan and his legion of demons can do. Hasatan alone. He doesn't need a legion of demons. He doesn't need his minions. He doesn't need his fallen angels hierarchy under him. Because in a worldly, he is the prince of the world. And in that realm, He has all power over humans. Believe me when I tell you. From the earth to that realm, he has all power. And just don't take him lightly. Everything that they've told you about him, think the opposite. It's always the opposite. He's not going to show you what he's going to do. He's not going to tell you what he's going to do. He's the ultimate deceiver. So everything that you think that they told you about him, and this is what he does, and the devil this, the devil that, get that out of your head. Because he laughs at that buffoonery. Because it's buffoonery. Because he knows that most people are already his. No reason to go get you, and no reason to tempt if you already belong to him. People are so far gone in their delusions and their vain opinions and the myths that they believe everything that Hasatan has told them about him. And why would he give you the truth about him? But the Most High has shewed me wisdom and knowledge, has given me into his hand. So therefore, I know about this entity and how powerful this entity is. With his eyes, he can take your spirit out of your body if he wanted to. Think on that. If he's able to do such thing and was given power to do such thing, what else? Just think about what else. But this is just a short testimony to give you, and I'll probably make a part 2 to it, like I said, just to complete my full testimony and to continue to give you the rest of the story of me given into the hands of the devil after I died and came back. So thank you once again for listening to my testimony. I hope this reaches the people that it needs to reach out there. I hope the Most High blesses those who need to receive this to receive it. And I'm not here to bash anybody's testimonies about heaven or hell or anything of the sort. I'm just here to give you the testimony of what the Most High has brought me through and allowed me to see and whom he has given me to. And it's all praises to the Most High Yahuwah. And like I said, just be mindful, be vigilant of this entity. And shalom and blessings to those in the world. And I'll definitely probably be touching back with you guys. I'm not really a video type of person, not really a social media type of person. I don't have social media. I don't make videos or drop videos, but the Most High has definitely put this on my mind and my spirit. And it's been there for 20 years. I just never mustered up the courage to do it until today. But I definitely think those who will get to see this video and who hearken onto this testimony, and, you know, hopefully it reaches those who it needs to reach, you know, and those who have unbelief, and those who want to say, no, you didn't, no, that didn't happen to you, why would it happen to you, and all of that other buffoonery. I mean, you really save it. It doesn't bother me at all what people believe and what you don't believe, because I know the truth, because his word is truth. And there is no greater truth than the word. So, like I said, shalom and blessings to those. And that was my testimony.
So yeah, we're gonna do every now and then we're gonna listen to a couple testimonies. I gotta get ready to go to work. I appreciate everybody chiming in on the conversation. I did want to read some of the comments underneath his videos. A lot of people talking about fucking dying and shit, and I'm like, bro, like, God not give a fuck about me? Cause why I had a near death experience. I ain't been through shit. I just go through dumb shit every day, like flat tires and narcissists, and, you know, some days when I pee it burn, even though I didn't have sex for like 6 months. I'm like, ain't no shit going on over here. I ain't got no stories to tell. I am the most unentertaining YouTuber on this fucking alive. This person said I died and went to hell when I was 18. I'm 57 now, and there's not a day that I don't think about what happened to me in that pit. This person said I also died. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of motherfucking people that's respawning and shit. What's going on, Kev? This is crazy. This is crazy as hell. What's this? All right. What's this guy said? This person said I died also and was suspended in pitch blackness. I saw nothing initially. My whole life went through my mind, including dying in my sin. Let's see. Look at this person. I died. It's a whole lot of people. Ada Sensu being in this live chat. This person said I died for 28 minutes and was sent back to spread the word of God. Wow. That's it. The devil won't waste time on those souls he has. And those souls unsaved, living in sin. The devil comes for those he knows are a threat to his kingdom and have a destiny to fulfill. Okay. For me, like, I'm gonna keep it like a buck, man. Like, it's just so hard for me to I don't know what it is. It's just like, it's crazy. Like, I believe in a Most High. Even though I can't touch it, I can't see it, but I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel that positive, because when I do something, when I punch somebody in the face, I feel bad. But when I give a homeless person some money, I feel good. So I can feel it. Can't see this entity. Can't touch this entity. I can feel this entity. Sometimes I have moments where I feel like I can talk to the entity, where the entity is communicating back with me. But, when it comes to like Jesus, for some reason, bro, I'm gonna just be honest. I feel like Jesus was a man-made story. And this is gonna be like one of my biggest struggles in life, is to figure out, am I gonna believe? Like, I believe in a creator, but right now where I'm at, I don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe in Jesus. And I feel like maybe that's what's holding me back. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Because when it comes to that, but I just don't believe anything man-made, man. I really don't believe. I don't believe in anything man-made. So I don't know. Yeah, this person said you're correct about no talking in hell, because if anyone has experience, that's what I was trying to say, sleep paralysis, you cannot talk or move. Facts. I've had that. I never saw the demons or anything like that. I never saw any shadowy figures. I never had none of that. But I did have that. I used to have it almost every other night, to the point where I used to have that sleep paralysis so much that I learned how to wake myself up. I would have to like force my arm. I would have to like shove my fucking arm to the side to wake myself up. But I remember just laying in that sleep paralysis, man. And that was the only thing you could move was your eyeballs. That was the only thing you could move. That shit is crazy, man. Yeah, that's what they said. The person said you can only move your eyes and talk to God in your thoughts, mind. Yeah, that's funny because I ain't even see that she wrote that. Let's see. He said, "We are like an apple on a tree, not knowing we are part of the whole tree." Facts. She said, "Jesus represents truth and how we should act in the world." It's like an apple on a tree. I thought we came into this one. I said Jesus had white woolly hair and skin of bronze and eyes that look like fire. Damn. Sleep paralysis. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It's just, they have the ones where some people have like the little succubus or incubus, in their presence, and then some people don't, right? So yeah. I don't know. I'm one of those. I'm one of them guys. I'm one of those people. I do believe in a higher being, but it's just I don't know. Maybe I'm stubborn, or But when it comes to like Jesus, and it's just I think it's just because of the way like it's just growing up, they had fucking Mel Gibson playing Jesus, bro. I mean, come the fuck on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Growing up, my mom put some bullshit on the TV. It's fucking Mel Gibson playing Jesus. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was Mel Gibson, right? I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. So it's like I don't know how to say it, like the mainstream adaptation of Jesus has fucked up my entire. I kind of just throw it all away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, I also take into account, once again, like the truth. You find the truth in the mockery. You find the truth in the mockery. You find the truth in the censorship, right? The people that tell the truth up on social media, you get shadow banned to death or you get terminated. And those are the people that be telling the real truth. It's like when you look at anything, any award show, any bread and circus event, upside down, anything that mocks Jesus. So it's like, I take that into account as well. They work overtime to mock, the character of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just right in your fucking face, bro. Down to the cross itself. So I don't know, man. I don't know. This person said, this reminds me of when I was a little girl. I was about 11 and now I'm late 50s. But at the time I had an open vision. I was taken into a room with scales, like the justice scales of the law. And an entity said, you know the difference between right and wrong. Now you have to make a choice. You choose life that is with your creator. Oh, holy goddamn, bro. God, she came up on here and wrote a whole motherfucking autobiography. God damn, lady, ain't nobody reading all this bullshit. If you choose death, that's what the devil. Then I was taken into a chamber that had skeletons, and they were all saying, "Don't come down here." You felt they were tormented, an entity escorting me through the levels, chambers of darkness, and they had chains around their skeletal neck, hands, arms, wrists, feet, legs, and these demons were pulling them apart, laughing, and the skeletons crying. They were thirsty, and they were in excruciating pain. They were crying, but okay. All right, chill out. I gotta go to work after this. God damn. All right, so there's that, y'all. I gotta get up out of here. I gotta get ready for work to go be a slave. All right. Right. So this is the best comment right here. He said, "The Most High didn't hand you over to the devil. You lived a life that gave the devil access." That's basically what I was trying to say, but I'm retarded and I don't know how to talk. Shit, he had doors wide open. You know what I'm saying? And he gave access to the entity that he was talking about. So he has a good testimony. You know, I appreciate people. You know, as he said, he was scared to even tell anybody. He was scared to tell anybody. You know what I'm saying? He talked about his possession and things like that. He was scared to tell anybody. You know? But it's just, yeah, it was a couple of things that, once again, everybody's spirit has room for growth. You know what I'm saying? Room to evolve. So just like mine, just like his, like, you know, it's just you're constantly perfecting your perspective and things of that nature, man. You know what I'm saying? You're constantly trying to align your paradigm, you know, to that perfect to perfection, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's why I don't do certain stuff. And some people call it like karma, but that's why I don't do certain stuff. That's why I don't treat people a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I don't harm people. I don't harm animals. I don't do certain things because I know I'm just opening up a door for that entity to come through. I mean, you know, it's come on, man. That's one of the first things you wake up and realize. Oh, okay, I'm participating in this, you know, in this demonic behavior. And it's a demonic relationship between you and that entity. And just how you handle people. Like, you know, if you're dealing with somebody that's a narcissist, the only way you can beat that narcissist is to starve them out. Starve them of any attention. Close the door. Lock it. Bolt it. That's it. And they'll sit outside that door for the rest of your life. They'll sit out, that demon, that entity, that narcissist, what have you. They'll sit outside that door for the rest of your life. Waiting for even if you just look out the peephole, they'll be there. They'll be staring right back at you. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. All right, man. We gotta go. We gotta go, y'all. All right. So I'm gonna catch you on the next one. All right. You talking about Adele Rich? That's my baby. That's my future baby mama. I don't give a fuck how old Adele is, man. I will swing. Come on, let me not say that. All right, man. Salute. I'm gonna catch you on the next one.